This time I hope to be stronger. But we are laying off about 15% of the company. If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group being laid off. Your employment here is terminated, effective immediately.
Many kids are schooled on Zoom. We learn to cook, even play instruments over Zoom, and most of us are even getting hired on Zoom. But what about being fired in that forum? Is it a sign of the times, or is it a vicious business tactic? Former employees of Better.com say the latter, after CEO Vishal Garg dispensed with 900 of them in a 3-minute call no one saw coming.
Career, I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried. This time I hope to be stronger. But we are laying off about 15% of the company. If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group being laid off. Your employment here is terminated, effective immediately.
Wow. With that, the CEO of the $9 billion mortgage company, he's now apologizing for his handling of the situation. Chapman was one of the 900 fired on that call. He joins us this morning. Good morning, man. Apologies for what you and your family are going through here at the holidays. If you can, and I know you've done this before, so apologies for making you do it again. Take us through the emotions before, during, and, of course, after that call.
Sure, David. So, early in the morning, we were having a one-to-one call and with my manager, and we're talking about a great review. Then I jump into a training call. I'm with all my trainers, and we're talking about Christmas and making Christmas plans. We're going to do a Zoom white elephant kind of gift style. And then we saw this message pop up, and we're like, what is this? Are we supposed to be on this? And then there's a message 30 minutes later that popped up on our calendar. We took a look at it. We decided to jump on it. We're like, okay, let's all in. Let's get on this call. It'll be in all hands. I'm sure they're talking about, the $750 million in liquidity that we just got. And our breath was just taken away. I heard the words come out of Vishal's mouth. And as he was saying that, a million thoughts ran through my head right away. The first was, the first time I did this, I didn't cry. The second time, I hope to be stronger. It was almost like he was eliciting empathy for him for having to lay us off. And it was just cold and callous, and it was monotone, and it wasn't the normal Vishal who's, just kind of vulgar and full of F-bombs, and it just wasn't his normal self at all. And then I thought immediately the lack of empathy that he was showing, I was like, have we traded dollars for empathy? And it sank my heart. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, how do I tell my wife? And I've got 5 kids at home. And then I thought about the families across the United States that are being affected by this. And will we have Christmas? What will that look like? It's going to be different. And then you're trying to get the courage to call your wife. And I'm sitting there trying to communicate right after the call. And I'm telling you, mentally and emotionally it was dark, but physically it was dark because our laptop shut down. Our email was gone. Our Skypes were gone. Like, our Slack was gone. That's my community. That's my family. That's who I talk to. And I don't have any way to talk to them. And in this Zoom age world, I don't get to leave my desk. I don't get closure. I don't get to pack everything up, say goodbye to my friends, and leave. I'm stuck just staring. And I'm told there's an email that's going to come. And for 2 excruciating hours, almost 3, nothing shows up. I click refresh. Nothing's happening. Nothing's showing up. And I have to tell my wife, and she wants details. And I don't know if that's our last pay stub. I don't know what we're going to do for Christmas.
So now the CEO, Vishal Garg, has apologized, and let me read what he said. I want to apologize for the way I handled the layoffs last week. I failed to show the appropriate amount of respect and appreciation for the individuals who were affected and for their contributions to Better. How does that sit with you? Does it make any of this feel better?
I'm going to be really transparent. I'm going to say no. I feel like this is more PR because right after that message, my friends reached out to me on Messenger, and, he was saying that he laid off, low producers. He, over the next 2 days, kind of bashed us. And then as the company started seeing shakeups and some of the execs are leaving, all of a sudden this email message or this, message comes out on Better of, I'm sorry. That's not Vishal's MO. That's not his style. His style, I told multiple people in my training classes, if Vishal's speaking, make sure you're on mute, make sure you have headphones in. You don't want little kids coming in hearing those F-bombs and that vulgarity. That's who he is. He's off the cuff. He's going to send a text message to the entire company about something. And so I feel like it's very PR driven.
So I just want to be fully transparent. I was called cold and calculating and vicious earlier this week when I said I don't see any problem with firing people over Zoom because we are hired over Zoom. And I think it is a bit of a sign of the times. Do you have a problem with the forum in which he did it, or just how and the lack of empathy?
I think ultimately it's empathy. Where is it in our country? It's okay to cry when you lay 1,000 people off. It's okay to feel bad about that. I do understand that we have economics and, but I feel like this is, capitalism almost gone wrong in a way. It can be done right. And I think the market's judging it right now. I think that's what's happening, and that's why we're seeing this PR. I think it's the form and the method and the way that he did it. When you're on Slack every day with all your coworkers, from morning to night, on the weekends, you're checking in, you're dropping family pictures. It was a very community family. That's who you lean on. And for everything to go to remote and dark 10 seconds after, to not be able to get phone numbers, to not have any closure, it just shut down. And then we have no idea what's going on. I don't have a contact to HR. I don't have a phone number to HR. I don't have any way to contact them. I'm just left in the dark, and I'm left just staring at my computer that's blank and my work desk. And there's no closure there. And I think that's the difference when you're doing a mass layoff on Zoom.
And all that after the company got $750 million cash infusion 3 weeks away from Christmas. If there's good news, there's more than 11 million open jobs in this country. We're in a labor shortage, so you should be in a good situation. What's your elevator pitch for Rocket Mortgage and others who might be out there hiring this time of year?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say this. I came on with the company February 16th. In March, I was the top 5% underwriter. In April, I was offered the opportunity to interview for a promotion. In June, I became a trainer. I had wonderful trainings. You can check out my LinkedIn at Christian Chapman, or check out my YouTube at Christian Chapman, and you'll see all the different people that I talked to, that I worked with, the comments that they had about me. I definitely know mortgage inside and out. I've been there for almost 20 years. I got a raise in October for what I did, and I'm also able to cross-functionally train. I did sales. I did content development. We did RISE courses. And really at this, in this season, I want to be a go-giver and not a go-getter. And so I really want to help people. And I'm hoping if I help enough people get what they want, at the end of the day, I'll get what I want, which is a job, a way to take care of my family, to pay the mortgage and pay the bills.
Whether it's your hard work or your perspective, man, you will not be out of work long. Christian Chapman, appreciate you sharing your story with us. He's a former employee there at Better.com and a future employee, we think, very soon. Thanks, Christian.